an IFC should actually have access to not only regulatory structures, but also talent, also optionality to kind of conduct your domestic market business as well as international businesses. And therefore, bringing these two aspects together, which is the domestic tariff area, DTA, and SEZ, makes a unique proposition compared to many of my peers. Just to give you a jurisdictional comparison, being in IFSC, which is the red zone, is almost similar to a foreign jurisdiction. Again, you will be considered as an offshore non-resident, while the Indian jurisdictions will apply. You're also subject to the tax holidays, and we operate in almost 15 global currencies, INR not included, right? But on the same place, we also have DTA, where you can access Indian market, but you'll be considered as an onshore resident. I will also talk to you about this four in further slides, but primarily if you look at why GIFT City, one, for many of my fellow panelists spoke about, whether it is a single unified regulator to access various financial products, or 100% FDI, or no capital controls. These are some of the regulatory aspects that the global businesses constantly look out for, which GIFT City unlocks, right? To add to that, we also provide a lot of fiscal incentives, which is on CAPEX, OPEX, and zero GST, no CTT or stamp duty for select business structures, and so on, right? Let me run the third and the fourth, which is infrastructure and the talent ecosystem, in further slides. We touched upon many of these points. Okay, now this is how the ecosystem looks today, right? I would love to call that as clusters than sectors. Reason why is cluster is an ecosystem where it's critical to have different sector operating, which is value adding to each other, right? For example, if you look at an asset management, it is very critical to have allocators, managers, custodians, fund service providers, fund admins, banks, so on and so forth, right? Similarly, for banks to operate, again, you need capability to solve for mid-office and back office, where GICs and GCCs come handy, right? Again, ancillary services. We are currently home to some of the largest or biggest names, whether it's in consulting or in fund services or fund administration and so on and so forth. We also have very strong capital market presence. Some of the big names who are in the banking side, those logos are also kind of expanding their capital market capabilities. If I have to call out someone like JP Morgan, is recently kind of, they have a commercial banking license, but also they are expanding their capital markets. So many of them are also kind of expanding their capabilities, right, as we speak. So this is a select number of logos of 1,150 financial entities licensed out of GIFT City today, right? We are almost around 1,250 entities housing around 27,000 people. And on the banking and asset management put together, I think today the AUM is roughly around 140 billion, and we intend to double it in the next 3 to 4 years, right? So we are going to focus and supercharge on some of these select clusters, right? So initially for us, we were kind of, while the dream was started in 2007, 2019 is when the IFSC law was passed, and 2020 and 21 was almost like a washout with COVID. So 22 till 26 is the time that we got, which is half the time of what ADGM had, which is 1/4 the time of what DIFC had, and you know the Singapore and Hong Kong. And yet, the 1,150 is almost closer to 1,200 of Singapore, number of financial entities regulated, right? So therefore, in terms of the pace that we are taking is fast, but I definitely also would like to acknowledge that today, the substance or the depth is not to the tune of my peers, I think, but that is an area where we will be focused, will be supercharged.